every time. Like it just doesn't happen. But like we're always like, if we make a shit coffee, like we won't serve it, let's make it again. But we're not trying to get like that perfect one every time, because I have been to, there is those kind of baristas that exist and the coffee wait gets really slow because they're just being too perfect. But when you want your morning coffee, you want an 8 and you want it quickly. You'd rather get an 8 quickly than a 10 and wait too long. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
No, that's exciting. And then so what are you doing with the Mindshift Foundation?
Yeah,
How did that come about?
So Mindshift, actually my mum started that. So another family business. Mum suffered from like anxiety and depression forever. And she obviously, I think it's probably going on 8 to 10 years. I don't know how old Mindshift is, but definitely when social media and everything started happening, she's just been writing like modules and trying to get more into schools of like modules actually for teachers to take as it to be lessons in school, which people need to learn about. Like, you know, it's just gone next level. Have you watched Social Dilemma?
I've heard about it. I get the concept, yeah.
Oh, you're going to need to watch it. So all that. So obviously, pardon?
It's like slaps you in the face.
Yeah. So just obviously talking a lot about that. I went and spoke like at my school, like I went to Ormiston College. I went and spoke to like 11, 12 people about it, and then just making everyone like aware and, you know, just talking about it as much as we can, which is what was with the OSHA podcast, just mental health awareness. And also with mental health awareness, I'm so like, you know, I always talk so openly about it. Both my parents, you know, had it growing up, and they talked to me about it, and I always knew exactly what was going on, where a lot of people have no idea. Like when someone's going through it, they just think their friend is being a bitch or moody or you know, they don't understand it. But more people just need to talk about it existing, so it's like you can understand when you're having a bad day. It is bigger bigger than just, you know, he's being a dick to me this morning. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, he actually, he's in his head, things are going on, and then you can be more compassionate. And that helps me as well as a leader at work, understanding my staff, you know, like they need time off for whatever's going on, or it's okay, you know, take that time. I'd rather you take that time than to come to work and be unpleasant, especially in hospitality, because we need you to be friendly. So it just like goes into everything in life if you can understand and kind of talk about it.
Did that help form your mindset?
100%. Like, you know, even like it helps me with myself when I'm going through something, you know, like it's okay to have that day, and I'll give myself that day. And I kind of like when I'm having bad days, I'll put a timer in my head, like, okay, you're going through this, have the day to do it. So if it's, you know, have a burger and don't go to gym today, just like, it's okay. Just do that. Don't take that pressure off yourself, you know, and then tomorrow you can, you know, be in your, you know, healthy again or whatever you are. And I think a lot of, especially girls, I'm sure it's boys as well, they put so much pressure on themselves, don't eat carbs and healthy and la la la. I'm like, just, you know, it helps with everything when you're aware of mental health.
So is that what it is? It's bringing just awareness to like someone is in school, their parents are stressed out from their jobs, and then they're looking at social media and going, why don't I have a Lamborghini, or why don't I look like that, or whatever it may
100%.
be.
It's just like making awareness and talking about it. And then it's just more like my part with Mindshift is like I just talk about it so much, mostly like one-on-one with my team and my staff. Like that's my biggest thing. Like we'll do workshops as well where I've had like psychs come in and like, you know, people just to come and do talks just for my staff, because that's kind of like the biggest impact that I can have is just like with them. And it's like we'll do a night, hey guys, this is on if you want to come. You don't have to come because it's not a work night, but this night we've got this guest speaker and she's going to come and talk about this, and you're more than welcome to come if you want, and just, you know, creating that conversation.
What do you think the biggest kind of things for like youth is? Like I personally, like I felt like I used to be a lot more anxious than I am now, but that came from like sorting my stuff out, like getting regular exercise, eating better, those kind of things. And they're not super obvious at the time, but then as you kind of get out of like I guess anxiety for me was like over analyzing situations, addressing it with a person, and then being like, oh, I didn't even notice that. And you realize like you've just like spent all of this mental energy on a situation that could have gone a completely different way.
100%. I always tell everyone like communication is like so important. Like in any, like I would say like at work, like, you know, one of like my chefs has the biggest anxiety and she'll get stressed when we get busy, and then she just like slows down, and I'm like, I'm not going to name names. I'm like, if we just communicate, I said, you know, this like, and this has helped us so much. Communicate when you get busy that there's wait time. This is in one of our smaller shops. Tell the front of house there's a wait time, and then same vice versa. And then I tell you when you come in as a customer, hey guys, we're busy, just letting you know it's a half an hour wait. And then you go, yep, cool, I'm not in a hurry, or I'm not going to get it, I'm too busy. And then if we have that communication, that's like stopped her anxiety because she's not in her head slowing down and she can focus. And like communication helps like so many things, which helps that it's like a roll on effect. So just communicate. Like you're having like the tiniest bad thought about whatever it is, just talk to your friend or your family member or your staff member. Like, hey, I'm just, did you mean to, make me feel that way? And they're like, oh, I didn't even mean it. So that's the same with me with my abruptness. Like, people will tell me, oh, she's really upset because you said this. And I was like, oh, I didn't even mean anything about it. All I was saying is, don't be late or whatever it is. And then they're in their head thinking I hate them. I'm like, no, I'm just doing my job. You know what I mean? So just talk about stuff and then don't let your head go to that place.
How do you deal with like from a customer perspective? Because I eat out a lot. I'll be first to admit it. And I witness like some situations where some customers are just like blatantly in the wrong, like horribly rude. The tone is like, how do you even like to take that energy, if you will, and then like turn it around into I'm sorry that happened, or I'm sorry that feel away. Like, how do you even train someone to deal with that? Like, is it something naturally?
Well, yeah, it's the same thing. Like, obviously, like years of experience with that, but also the same thing of going like, because obviously that will really like, the staff can be really upset after that. Like they just abuse us over your eggs not being perfect. Like, right? Not a big deal. And I'm so sorry, we'll get you a new one. Like everything that we do, and then they're a bit shaken. Like that person, we get called and abused or whatever. And I said, we have to remember that again. That person is not happy if they are that aggressive over their eggs not being cooked properly or, the simple little things that we do in a restaurant, which is not serious. You know what I mean? Your steak isn't cooked perfect or your coffee is a bit cold because we'll always remake it. If you let us know there's something wrong, we'll make it again for you. So we've done our job to fix it. And if they are that way, there's something going more in their life.
And I think a lot of people are unhappy.
Yeah.
Like genuinely.
Yeah.
Like to get in an Uber and then just blow up at them or something.
Exactly.
Like everyone's so strung up.
Yeah.
And so on edge every day.
Yeah.
And they make their own problems 10 times more than what needs to be done.
Yeah. And often, in that situation
you're just the gateway.
We are. People just take it out on us, like, and also because there's sometimes, some people look down on us because we're servers, which they definitely shouldn't. But like, we get that, and
we get that as salespeople.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, don't take your shit out on us. All I'm doing is doing my job. And even like, same with people that blow up at a younger staff member, you can see that she's younger and she's still learning. Like, you know what I mean? There's that person has their own stuff going on. And it's just something that I just really educate the staff to just always be like, don't take that home with you. Like, go shake it off, go to the back room for a second. And like, it's not you. They've got their own thing going on. So don't worry about it. Don't let it ruin your day.
And what's your thing to get out of that? What's your outlet?
I'm definitely like a runner. So like, I'll just like, if I need.
What's your pace? What's a 1 kilometer pace? Low fives?
I don't know what it is, but I'm on like number 10 on the treadmill.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh, you don't run outside?
No, I'm a treadie. I was running outside all COVID, definitely, but now I'm trying to get running faster, so I'll go to the treadmill because then I can like press that button. Get me up and like watch the time.
I think 10 works out like 6 something per kilometer. I'm going to be way off here, but like 6 something.
So that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not like a group fitness person. I'm like
solo David Goggins vibes, hoodie on, Eminem music.
Legit, no, like club house music.
Yeah.
If I take pre-workout and then I'm like in a nightclub, this is my festival time and I'm like on there. And that's just like, it gets out everything. So like running or your exercise, that's my outlet.
You need it, hey.
You need it.
Huge. Yeah.
People that don't.
It'll change your life.
It will change your life. Like it literally does. And it's like people that need to, I'm like, they've forgotten that feeling of how good that it takes. And it will take you time to train, to get better, to get to that point of where like, now I can do like, a big power run and really get that all out. So it's hard. Sometimes like I couldn't run for a while during COVID either. I just like, COVID just squashed me. I was just walking. And like that was my thing, and it was like it wasn't fulfilling me like running does, and it took me probably 3 months of walking, and I've just started running again.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just because of psychological?
It was psychological COVID. I just couldn't do it. I just could not
the energy
do it.
There.
Yeah, I just mentally I was like, no. So that's why I was like, I'm going to keep walking, so at least like I'm getting my steps in for myself. But I get so much more happiness out of running, and every time like I don't consistently run. I probably like 2 times 1 week, 4 times one time, and then I'm like, every time I stop and I run again, I'm like, why the fuck did I stop running?
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
It doesn't lie. There's nothing, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just there running.
Yeah. And it's like the achievement of like getting faster every time and like longer start off running 10 minutes, then you're running 40 minutes. It's just like, that's just the best out of any achievement.
Well, you come out of like, you could go into that like, I'm gonna, like that person did this to me and I'm gonna bloody do this. And you come out of the
Yeah.
run, you're like,